Fairbanks Focus is a locally produced public affairs program created in part by University of Alaska Fairbanks, KTVF, and Fairbanks Economic Development Corporation.
Thanks for joining us here at Fairbanks Focus Alaska View. I'm Nanette Pearson. Today I'm joined by Jesse Bartlett and David Leslie, and we're here to talk about Angry Young and Poor. So I know what Angry Young and Poor is. Tell our viewers out there in TV land what that's all about.
Would you like to start?
Sure.
Shall I?
Or I can do it.
Yeah.
Angry Young and Poor is a 12-hour-long, noon to midnight, family-friendly, community-based event in Esther, Alaska, in the Esther Community Park that's held every July. And every January we get together, we call ourselves disorganizers, and we start disorganizing to raise money to pay things for insurance and t-shirts and all the stuff we're going to need. And then we throw this big show, we do these fundraisers, and somehow we end up money to give to nonprofits by the end.
Awesome. And so this year's Angry Young and Poor Festival event is going to be held on what day?
July 13th, 2013 at the Esther Community Park.
Awesome.
Saturday after the 4th of July weekend.
Exactly.
So come back from camping and head out to the music festival.
Yes.
Well, and it's a really fun, family-friendly event. It's a big community event. I know we come every year, me and my family, and we generally just lay out a big blanket and hang out all day and listen to great local music and check out art and get in touch with the other nonprofits here in the area, which is really awesome.
Yeah. It's one day that you can for surely see all your friends in one spot, and even if you don't know other people there, then you can meet new friends.
Well, and it's really fun, and like I said, it's one of the highlights of my summer, and it's kind of fun because this year I'm part of the newly formed campus club of Angry Young and Poor,
of which I am the president. Yeah, we just started an Angry Young and Poor campus club so that we can get more involved with the UAF students and just be more involved in campus life.
Cool.
And it's working, and it kind of it makes it so a lot of the disorganizers are students right now, so it's an easy spot to meet all together, and it's really fun actually.
Well, and I know we've got lots of stuff, and that's the one thing that I'm learning now as a campus club member is I've always been to Angry Young and Poor, and I always know that there's lots of work that goes into it, but I didn't realize that you guys had so many events that lead all the way up from January to July. So tell us about some of that stuff that's going on.
Well, do you want to start with the informal that we just had?
Yeah, we just had our winter informal at the Marlin. We did a Doctor Who themed party, and tons of people showed up and they got their nerd on, and over 200 people came. It was a great time was had by all, and it was just really fun and nerdy. And yeah, this is a great way to start off the season. We have a lot of money, so we can make sure we can get all these other fundraisers we have on the road.
And we had some awesome DJs, DJ Troll and DJ Plan D.
Cool. And so I know that so you have something new with the Campus Club too. You have a weekly event that's going on every week.
Yes, we have the every Thursday we have a hip hop dance class at the SRC studio from 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. and that's sponsored by the AYP Campus Club. And we have a beautiful teacher, Katie Ambrose, and she teaches us choreography and dance moves, and it's by donation, so any money that's over the amount that we pay her goes to AYP. And if you're not a student, you can still come and join us. If you can contact us, we can get you on the Campus Club roster, and then you can come into the SRC at a discounted rate, $3 instead of $8.
Nice, and that's, go ahead.
This hip hop dance class is meant for adults and beginners. So if you've never learned how to dance before, this is for you.
Yeah.
This is where you come to learn how to shake your booty.
And Katie is a great teacher. She's really good at breaking everything down.
Absolutely. Well, and it's nice that there's a weekly thing that you can go to, get some exercise, have some fun, and support a great local cause for community building. And you guys do so many events. Tell us about some other stuff that's coming up.
Also upcoming, we have on March 23rd, we'll have the Angry Young and Poor Singer-Songwriter Showcase, famous in Fairbanks. We'll have local musicians playing there.
Including Jesse.
Including myself. And also Carrie Seward is going to be hosting. I know Jessica Christensen is planning on playing. And
Brian Witten. And yeah, it's going to be an all-star singer-songwriter night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's more than just those people. But come join us and listen to some great local music.
And that's what day again?
That's March 23rd at the Marlin.
And so it starts around 9 or 10.
Awesome.
$5 cover.
Awesome.
Okay, what else do we have? This is a new event that we just organized this week. On April 5th, we're going to sponsor a free bowling and arcade night at the Wood Center in the gaming area. And it's for UAF students, and it's going to be from 6 to 8 p.m., and it's going to be all free, and we just want people to come and have fun.
And so I know they kind of want UAF students, since it is a UAF facility, but that includes UAF students and their families, right?
Yes.
And that's all sponsored by AYP. You don't have to worry about if you can afford to rent out shoes or anything like that.
Yep, it's all going to be provided.
Yeah, it's all on us.
So come and have some fun.
Now, if people wanted to get a hold of you, how would they do that?
Well, you take this one.
The most effective way is probably getting on Facebook and just doing a search for Angry Young and Poor. We have a like page and a group, so you can join one or both, and just email us. We could message us on there, or you can email us at stillangryoungandpoor@gmail.com. That's all one word.
Awesome. And so that's like if they wanted to say sign up to be on the roster for the dance class, that's how they get a hold of you.
Yep.
Awesome. And I know there's so much more that goes on with Angry Young and Poor every year. And I know that lots of different communities come and check it out. And it's so much fun to just spend an afternoon in the beautiful Esther Park. What else can you tell us about stuff that's going on?
Okay, so on April 26th, our dance class is going to perform at the Dance Off. And we might be sponsoring an event. We kind of are figuring that out right now.
Well, and that's the Dance Off at
Springfest.
Yes, at Springfest, at UAF.
And we might be doing an event that Saturday as part of Springfest.
Yes.
We're still working that out, so if you're going to be there, keep an eye out for us.
Awesome.
And then also May 10th, we're having a Spots versus Stripes end of school party at the UAF pub. So we're encouraging costumes, so find a shirt in your closet that has spots on it or stripes and come and join us. The UAF pub is getting rid of all of their beer and wine for the summer. It's end of the year, so they're selling everything at a discounted rate, so it should be a really fun end of school party.
And then after that, on May 25th, I'm very excited about this. We have a prom every year. Last year we had a steampunk prom. This year our theme is Fear and Loathing in Fairbanks, a gonzo prom. So get your Hunter S. Thompson outfit out and or at least be thinking about it for May.
Yeah.
I can't wait to be the Lizard King.
Yeah. Definitely. You can get really creative with your costumes. We always have prizes for costumes, so the more creative you get, you might win something.
Very cool. And so it sounds like there's so much more going on just with us being involved with the campus now too. And I know I'm really excited that I'm able to participate more since I don't always get out to Esther as much as I'd like to. Tell us a little bit about, I know you said that you raise money all year long and at the end you're able to give money out to nonprofits. So tell us some of the places that you've given money to.
Well, I know 3 years ago we donated to the Esther Community Association so we could make the stage that we perform on every year.
A huge, beautiful wooden stage.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. And then 2 years ago we donated $1,500 to the Literacy Council of Fairbanks, and that was really rewarding. And last year we made $2,000 and we got to donate it to the Planned Parenthood of Fairbanks.
That's awesome. So that's like $5,000 in 3 years.
Yes. Oh, did I say that we donated $1,500 to ECA?
Yeah. So we've made around over $5,000 for nonprofits after the music festival in the last 3 years.
Well, and of course, the music festival itself is completely free for 12 hours for anyone to come and go as they please, check out artists that are selling some of their wares, lots of nonprofits. I know Joel's Place always has a booth there, Planned Parenthood always has a booth there, and I've seen lots of other people come out too.
Yeah, we usually have like free clothing and a clothing swap, and it was very cool.
One of the farms usually donates salad until it's eaten up. Yeah.
And we have some friends that make beans and rice for us every year, and so thank you, Chad and Cynthia. And they also bring their bus. We have a coffee bus that they sell coffee, but it's delicious and wonderful. And so you can have coffee all day long as well.
You can stay up all night.
That's right, and it goes from noon to midnight.
Noon to night. It doesn't always stop at midnight.
Last year it was really exciting. Or maybe even for the past couple of years, we've had fire dancers perform once it gets a little bit darker.
Oh yeah, and I've seen that. The Poi, don't they have a group?
Yeah, they have a local group that goes around during the summer outside to all the different concerts.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun, and it's just, like I said, it's so rewarding to get out in your community and see your community and have fun, and to know that it's all ages. I know Carrie has told me before, that lots of younger bands who maybe don't have a venue get to come to this event and get to play for an audience and have it be very low-key and unstressful. So
it's really nice.
We enjoy having younger bands play at the beginning of the day, where we're okay with giving younger artists a chance to go out and perform in front of the entire town.
Which is not to say that if you aren't young, you can't also come and perform. I had a friend once say, well, I'm not really angry, young, and poor. I'm more middle-aged, middle-class, and disenfranchised. I said, and as you were saying, Jesse,
everybody's welcome. Everybody's welcome.
Everybody was angry, young, or poor at least once in their life.
Yep.
So I think we all kind of fit that category.
Yeah.
And I love the venue. It's so beautiful in Esther Park.
Esther Community Park.
Yeah, and it's green and lush, and they're really good about keeping the whole lawn really beautiful, and it's gorgeous.
And is there any other events that we should let the people know about?
I think so. We also, in late June, the Hot Mess. You should talk about this.
Oh, yeah.
So every year we do the Hot Mess Burlesque. It's a burlesque variety show. This year we want to do an actual show with a rehearsal and like a stage and a curtain. So we're organizing that right now. We're accepting submissions. So if anyone's interested, if you want to do a sexy number for our show, anything's welcome. Our email is asexyshow@gmail.com. Just email us with whatever you want to do, and we can make it happen. So we're taking submissions until April 1st. And it's going to be anything goes. Drag, circus acts, spoken word. As long as it's sexy, maybe funny, it's good.
It's going to be really fun.
And when can people go see the Hot Mess?
We're still finding a location to do it, so we do not have a date, but it will be in June. And if you come to any of these other events, as soon as we know, we'll make sure you know.
Yep, and you can always check us out on Facebook or email us at our email address at stillangryyoungandpoor@gmail.com, and we will keep you informed.
Awesome. And any other events on the horizon?
Well, then after that, it's just Angry Young and Poor, July 13th, 2013.
And noon to midnight, I expect to see all of you there, because it really is a great time. And so just a real quick recap for especially our university folks.
Oh.
I know that we have Spring Fest coming up, where there might be a dance-off. We have, you said, was it April what for the game night?
Oh, April 5th for the game night. But before that, March 23rd for our singer-songwriter night at the Marlin.
And so that's a 21 and over.
Yes. So April 5th, that's the bowling and arcade night.
Family friendly.
Family friendly at the university.
April 26th, the Spring Fest dance-off. Then May 10th, Spots versus Stripes at the UAF pub. Then May 25th, Fear and Loathing in Fairbanks prom.
And that's at the Marlin?
At the Marlin. And then late June, Hot Mess. And July 13th, 2013, Angry Young and Poor.
So lots of wonderful events. Again, I hope to see all of you there, and thank you again, guys, for joining us this morning at Fairbanks Focus. Jesse, David, I really appreciate you coming on the show, and as always, I really appreciate you guys being just organizers and hosting such awesome community events.
Thank you, Nina.
Thank you, and I'm sure we love rocking over Fairbanks.
Yes, that's our motto, rock over Fairbanks.
Thanks for joining us. Next up, you have Samantha Larson talking to Lena and Yelena.
Hello there, and thank you for joining us again. I'm Samantha Larson with the Fairbanks Focus, Alaska View. Today is an extra special episode of this show because we have on Leah and Lena of Leah and Lena's Cooking. They are the newest YouTube sensation in Fairbanks with their cooking show. Their recipes range from Oreo truffles, which we have on today, to Russian borscht and Russian eggplant. So thanks for joining us, guys.
Good to be here.
How's it going? Feeling pretty good?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me, how did this whole cooking phenomenon start?
Well, first of all, I mean, we're best friends.
Yeah.
So we hang out all the time. And with Yelena and I, one thing we love to do is cook. We cook together a lot.
All the time.
Yes. So like we decided one day that, hey, let's do something. And we decided to do a show. And cooking just kind of fell into place, so we did a cooking show.
It's something you love, it's your hobby.
Yes.
How long have you guys each been cooking for? I mean, like legitimately in the kitchen, you know, not just Pop-Tarts and cereal, but I mean.
Probably I would say probably at least for 10 years.
Yeah?
Yeah, like off and on when I was a kid, but 10 years probably.
So it's kind of something that you grew up doing,
Yes.
learning from family?
Yes.
For me, it was since I was 10, and the first thing I learned to make was borscht.
Really? Why is that? Why borscht?
Just our family, Russian culture, so it's a big staple, a big dish that everybody makes. So
Is that something easy? Is that something you like to make?
I do. I like it.
Yeah?
I like complicated or multiple-step processes.
I've never had it. I've never made it. I'll be honest, I'm kind of intimidated by that. Just the word scares me. But, so who are your influences, you know, growing up cooking? Family members, grandmother?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, big one was my grandmother. Yeah, both of my grandmothers from both sides. But they'd teach me here and there. Every time they would visit, we'd make something, you know, we'd get all together.
Yeah.
And we'd always make meals. They'd talk us through it, so we'd learn ourselves. And then my mom and dad too, you know, making something, learning different things, getting into it.
So it was kind of fun, you know,
Yeah.
like, you know, you wanted to do it rather than, you know, hating being in the kitchen, you know, you enjoyed it.
Yes.
Okay. So I want to ask you, being in Alaska since I moved here, you know, with it being cold outside and dark for a certain amount of time, I've been cooking a whole lot more, trying a much wider range, variety recipes. Do you think that's something that plays into your cooking? You know, being in Alaska and trying to find more things to do inside when you can't go outside?
I think we have to cook a little bit more.
Yeah.
And plus, like, in the winter, I mean, you're by yourself a lot, especially in Alaska, so, you know, it's too cold to be outside. And, of course, with cooking, everybody has to eat. And so, like, you're making a meal regardless of what it may be.
Right.
So, I mean, Alaska does have that huge influence, especially in the wintertime, because you can't go outside or you don't want, you know, you have to do something. And, you know, especially if even just when you're bored. I mean, it doesn't have to be a meal, but, you know, just something to do as well.
Right.
You have to scavenge your cupboards and everything because when it's 40 below, you don't really want to go out to eat or, you know, to the store, so you kind of want to make something.
I mean, that has to be a fun aspect of it, you know? Like, okay, I've got this, and this. What can I make that I would actually want to eat using these things? So that kind of has to, you know, put a little bit of fun and more fun into it, I think. Do you guys think so?
I think it could be intimidating at first, but you just have to have fun with it and expect mess ups, and then that's how you create recipes.
Oh yeah, everybody. When you're cooking, you have to mess up to learn. I mean, it's like, you know, when you're watching the Food Network, you know, and you see Giada make this really lovely meal. It just looks great, and then you make it, and it's like, okay, why does hers look like that? Why does mine look like someone sat on it? You know, like why is that? But I have to say, in your YouTube video where you guys made these Oreo truffles, not these specifically, but you know, you did the recipe. One of the things that I really enjoyed about that segment was that as you were making the Oreo truffles, you stopped halfway and you said, okay, this isn't working, so we put them in the freezer, and you know, then it's going to work. They're going to hold together. And I think that was really cool about your segment, because on most cooking shows, you know, like I just said, they make it, and it looks great, and you can't figure out why yours looks like this. So I think it's cool that you guys throw in there, hey, if yours looks like this is why that, you know, this is what you should do to correct that. So I think that's super cool. And something else that I think is really unique about you guys and what you're doing is that I feel like most females, especially in their, 20s, don't cook as much as they used to, 20 years ago. Do you guys, why do you guys love to cook, being in that age range?
I always wanted to cook. It was my goal to learn how to cook, but I was kind of intimidated and scared with the way that, just basic cooking works or how to turn the stove on. I think everybody goes through that. You have to go move past that. Or just putting food together and, certain things work and certain things don't. And then eventually you learn that this tastes good with this. And
do you think it's most, oh, sorry, Leah, you were going to say something?
I was going to say that I think a big part of it was being taught. A lot of times you don't know how to cook because no one's teaching you.
Right.
And so if you had somebody there being like, okay, no, it's all right. You dropped an egg on the floor and you feel that, you're like, uh-oh.
Don't cry over a broken egg.
It's like, it's fine, pick it up. But like having people in my family like walk alongside me and being like, okay, let's make a salad, something simple, right? Putting it together and it's like, oh, and then going to the store and selecting stuff together, making it fun, like an outside of, just buying a bag that's already prepared.
Yeah.
All right, let's look through the vegetables and all this other stuff. It makes it so much more fun when you have somebody who can be like, all right, let me give you some tips.
Right.
Or let me teach you something. And like that's one thing that we want to do with our show is like, just show, like make it fun, make it family oriented, grab a friend or maybe somebody else you can do it with.
Yeah.
And then through that process, learn.
Absolutely. It's not scary. Don't be intimidated. It's fun,
Yes.
Well, it gets fun. It's first. It's kind of it's like a chore, and then
a lot of
because you have to learn how to use things the right way. But then when you move past that, it becomes really fun. You get to create a lot of recipes and it's easy when you learn, like when people are there to teach you, because that's how I grew up. My family taught me. If I didn't have my family, it would definitely be an intimidating thing. But
well, and then you make it, and people try, and they're like, "Oh, this is so good," and then you get that boost of confidence, and you want to keep doing it, and you want to, build your knowledge of recipes, and So tell me, what would have to be each of your favorite recipes to make that you enjoy the most, eating or preparing?
Oh, mine definitely is cinnamon rolls.
Oh, God.
It's lots of fun. In the aspect of like, well, that was one recipe that my grandma taught me. And like, it's really fun because like different parts or at different ages, she taught me how to do it.
Right.
Like when we're little, it's like, okay, here's the stuff, and she made it. But recently when she visited me a couple months ago, this last summer, and she was just talking me through the whole thing. She's like, all right, you're gonna do it by yourself. And I'm like, oh, but I went through the whole thing and it gave me confidence of, oh, I can do this.
Yeah.
But I really love that recipe too because it is a family recipe.
Right.
But also because, it's enjoyable and it's fun to see everybody eating it and loving it. Like you were saying earlier, it's like,
that's the best part.
Yes. And then knowing that, hey, I'm bringing them joy, and seeing your product at the end, what you've been working on.
I love it. I love cooking. And my grandmother is the same way. She's, old school Southern all the way. It's like in her household, it's food, God, and football, all day long. So, growing up, she made chicken fried steak and all these things. And it's like, hey, Nana, can you make me this? And now I'm like, hey, Nana, can you make me this? She's like, nope, you know how. You can do it. I'm like, oh, man. Yeah. But it's just, it's growing up and learning. And
I love making borscht because I grew up eating that.
Yeah.
It's such a Russian food.
Makes you happy.
And then salads, because we always had gardens, my family, so to go pick fresh vegetables.
That's awesome.
And create a bunch of really unique salads.
Oh man, that sounds good. So what, as far as doing the cooking shows online, do you guys see that going any further? Do you guys have aspirations to maybe someday be on the Food Network or, the Food Channel? Maybe.
As for that one, yes, we want to keep going.
Yeah.
And wherever it may take us, that'd be amazing. But we have goals, like going somewhere with it, but we also know that it's a step-by-step process.
Right.
But
we have dreams. We're dreaming about it. So we do.
And we're going after those dreams.
Yeah.
So I guess yes to your question.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. I think you guys will, slowly but surely. Everybody has to start somewhere. And like I said, I think it's great what you guys are doing because a lot of our generation just they don't want to cook anymore. Everything's out of the box, or it's Taco Bell or McDonald's, and you know, I mean, if that's what you want to eat, that's fine. But you know, I'm all for old-fashioned home meal. And you know, like you said in our prior interview, no one's ever said, "Oh, gross, a home-cooked meal." You know.
No.
So I think it's awesome. And you said your families are really backing you guys on this and supporting you.
Of course, yeah.
That was the whole fun of it, because we have families from out of state, and when we just first started, they were our biggest support, and they were giving us tips and
calling us up and being like, we saw your show, we're gonna try the recipe, and then like, or just encouraging us. And like my dad got even more excited. I was like, Dad, and he's like, then you could do this, you can make jams, or hey, you can even like, you know, giving us all this advice. I mean, and good advice. But it was adorable seeing like everybody that you care about backing you up and being like, you can do this, you know, which made it even better.
That's great. You know, family support is the strongest, you know, when they are really behind you and everything like that. Now, are they your strongest critics also when it comes to cooking?
Yes.
Yeah.
They'll tell you like it is.
Yeah, but they're in a positive way, yeah.
Of course. I mean, I think you need that. You need a structure of, all right, yes, you did this well, but you need to work on, say, like, the length of the video.
Right.
Or you guys pause too much. Or you don't need to be showing so much of the scene because it takes like 5 minutes, but you know, you're just static or whatever.
Right.
You know, so they're critiquing in good ways. It's only going to make us get better. And I think even if you don't, because a lot of people don't have family around, like up in Alaska, or they're by themselves or going to school or whatever, having a core friend group or just having a support group, you know, around you is what's going to, you know, whatever dream it may be, critiquing you and encouraging you and being like, all right, you can do this, going after your dream. So like, that's actually a biggest part of our success, is having our family being like, you guys can do this and we're supporting you guys.
Just real quick, what would be a little bit of advice for, you know, anybody out there who is trying to learn how to cook or wants to get into cooking?
I think a big, like, if I had to give anything, I'd be like, don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid.
Because like a lot of times you think, well, I'm not good enough, or I'm going to leave that cooking to somebody who knows how, you know? But the whole point is that you can learn.
Right.
You know, wherever you're starting from, you're going to be okay to learn. I'd say that just pace yourself. Start with small things, like fresh food. Like,
follow the recipe.
Do it. Well, tell our viewers just real quick how they can view your videos.
You can go ahead.
You can get on YouTube, go to Lena's and Leah's Cooking Show, and you can also find us and like us on Facebook. We usually put up pictures and recipes.
Cool. All right. You heard it. Leah and Lena's Cooking Show on YouTube.com. Just real quick before we're done with the show for the day, I'm going to try one of these Oreo truffles that they made. Okay. Don't tell my workout buddy if you're watching. Let's see. Oh my God. Fabulous. I can feel it going right to my thighs. All right, well, that's going to do it for us here today on the Fairbanks Focus Alaska View. I'm Samantha Larson with Leah and Lena of Leah and Lena's Cooking. Have a good one, Fairbanks.